internationally known preacher based here in Dallas. This morning, during a 9 a.m. Sunday service, Bishop T.D. Jakes of the Potter's House suffered a health incident during a morning
video that's now gone viral. You can see Bishop Jakes finished his Sunday sermon and then got quiet, seemed to shake. The crowd reacting before several people rushed on stage.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into the life of Bishop T.D. Jakes, a man who's inspired millions with his powerful sermons and leadership. But there's more to his story than what you see on the surface. Behind the pulpit, there are controversies, scandals, and questions that haven't been answered.
The Dallas megachurch pastor appearing to have some sort of health incident during a morning service that was inside this morning, inside the Potter's House.
So grab your tea and settle in, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Bishop T.D. Jakes is a huge name in the Black community, known for his faith, inspiration, and leadership.
Video that's now gone viral. You can see Bishop Jakes finished his Sunday sermon and then got quiet, seemed to shake. The crowd reacting before several people rushed on stage.
His journey started humbly, with just 10 people gathered in a small room, listening to his sermons. But Jakes had a gift, a passion, and a way with words that move people deeply. He spoke with energy, conviction, and a magnetic charisma that drew people in and made them believe in something greater. From those small beginnings, his ministry grew in a big way. He built a mega-church empire called the Potter's House, where tens of thousands come to hear his message of hope and strength. But he's not just a preacher. He's also a best-selling author, a sought-after speaker, and a man whose words have helped countless people find comfort, direction, and a better path forward. Bishop Jakes' story is one of growth, inspiration, and complexity. Stay tuned as we uncover the man behind the sermons and explore the other side of his journey. Bishop T.D. Jakes has had an incredible journey, but it hasn't been without challenges. He's faced criticism and controversy that could have tarnished his image or overshadowed his ministry. From debates about his luxurious lifestyle to his views on social issues, Jakes has been in the spotlight many times. Yet he continues to be a powerful figure in the Black community, a symbol of faith and resilience. He's known for challenging norms, speaking his mind, and standing firm in his beliefs, even when it brings backlash. While he's a complex person, one thing is certain: Bishop T.D. Jakes is a major influence in the faith world. A big part of his preaching has been the prosperity gospel. This belief suggests that strong faith can lead to God blessing you with wealth and success. On the surface, it sounds great. Who wouldn't want faith to bring prosperity? But not everyone sees it that way. Some people criticize the prosperity gospel, saying it focuses too much on money and material things instead of spiritual growth or helping others. They argue it makes faith feel like a transaction, as if you can earn God's favor by being devoted enough. Think about it like this. Imagine faith as a lottery ticket. You believe, and if you're lucky, God rewards you with wealth. Critics say this mindset misses the real purpose of faith, which should be about connecting with God, finding peace, and serving your community. The prosperity gospel has sparked a lot of debate in Christian circles. Some people see it as inspiring and empowering, encouraging people to dream big and work for success. Others think it distorts faith and can lead to greed and an unhealthy focus on materialism. It's a complicated issue, and Bishop Jakes has often been in the middle of the discussion. No matter where you stand, it's clear this topic has shaped much of the conversation around his ministry. Now, let's talk about Bishop Jakes' lifestyle. The man lives large. There's no denying that. We're talking multi-million-dollar mansions, luxury cars that most of us only dream about, and a wardrobe that would make a fashion icon jealous. But this extravagance has rubbed some people the wrong way. They argue that it clashes with the message of humility and service that he preaches. After all, how can a man of God, someone who talks about helping the poor and needy, justify living in such opulence while many of his followers struggle to make ends meet? It's a question that's been raised time and time again, and it's one that Bishop Jakes has had to address. Some people see his wealth as a sign of God's favor, a reward for his faith and dedication. Others see it as hypocrisy, a contradiction to the values he espouses. They argue that a true man of God should live a simpler life, focusing on serving others rather than accumulating material possessions. This debate highlights the complex relationship between faith and wealth. Should religious leaders live modestly as a symbol of their devotion to God and service to others? Or is there nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of their labor, especially if that wealth is used to further their ministry and help those in need? It's a question that has no easy answers, and it's one that continues to spark debate and controversy. Even for a man of faith as prominent as Bishop Jakes, life throws curveballs. He's faced personal challenges that, unfortunately, haven't stayed behind closed doors. His daughter became pregnant at a very young age, just 13 years old, and his son was arrested for indecent exposure. These incidents, understandably, made headlines and sparked a lot of gossip. Now, some people might say, well, he's just a father, and parents can't control everything their kids do. And that's true. But when you're a public figure, especially a religious leader like Bishop Jakes, your personal life is often held to a higher standard. People look up to you, they follow your teachings, and they expect you to embody those values in every aspect of your life. So, when these family challenges became public, it raised questions about Bishop Jakes' leadership, both within his family and his congregation. Some critics argued that he wasn't practicing what he preached, that he had failed to instill those moral values in his own children. They questioned his ability to guide and counsel others when he seemed to be struggling with his own family issues. It's a tough situation, and it highlights the challenges faced by public figures, especially those in positions of religious authority. They're expected to be perfect, to have all the answers, and to lead by example. But they're also human, with families and personal struggles just like everyone else. It's a reminder that even the most prominent figures have their own battles to fight, and that sometimes life throws you curveballs that you just can't predict. Bishop Jakes' stance on homosexuality has been a source of contention for many years. He's made statements that some perceive as homophobic, upholding traditional biblical interpretations that condemn same-sex relationships. This has put him at odds with those who advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and inclusivity within the church. Adding fuel to the fire are accusations of hypocrisy. Some claim that Bishop Jakes has close relationships with members of the LGBTQ+ community, even officiating same-sex weddings, while publicly maintaining a stance against homosexuality. This perceived contradiction has led to criticism and calls for him to clarify his position and be more consistent in his actions and teachings. This controversy highlights the ongoing struggle within the Black church regarding LGBTQ+ acceptance. Many congregations are grappling with how to reconcile traditional biblical teachings with the growing demand for inclusivity and acceptance of all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. It's a complex issue, one that requires open dialogue, compassion, and a willingness to evolve with the changing times. Now, let's talk about a theological debate that's been swirling around Bishop Jakes for years. He's been accused of preaching modalism, which is a different way of understanding the Holy Trinity. You know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Well, modalism says that these aren't three separate persons, but just different ways that God shows himself to us. This has caused quite a stir among those who hold on to the traditional Christian view of the Trinity, where the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are distinct but equal parts of the one God. They argue that modalism is a heretical belief, meaning it goes against the core teachings of Christianity. Think of it like this. Imagine an actor playing different roles in a movie. They might be a superhero in one scene, a villain in another, and a comedian in the next, but it's still the same actor underneath it all. That's kind of how modalism sees God, one being with different masks or roles. This debate has led to some heated discussions and disagreements within the Christian community. Some see Bishop Jakes' teachings as a refreshing perspective, while others see it as a dangerous deviation from traditional beliefs. It's a complex theological issue, and it's one that continues to be debated among scholars and theologians. Father's Day. 2022 took an unexpected turn when Bishop Jakes stepped up to the pulpit and delivered a sermon that sparked a firestorm of controversy. Instead of celebrating fathers and the importance of fatherhood, he decided to focus on Black women, and not in a good way. He criticized them for being too independent, too masculine, suggesting that they were abandoning their traditional roles and trying to be like men. His words didn't sit well with many, especially Black women who felt that he was reinforcing harmful stereotypes and undermining their achievements. Imagine working hard to build a career, to be independent and successful, only to be told that you're not being a real woman. That's how many Black women felt after hearing Bishop Jakes' sermon. They felt that he was dismissing their struggles, their accomplishments, and their right to define their own roles in society. The backlash was swift and fierce. Social media erupted with criticism, with many calling out Bishop Jakes for his sexist and misogynistic remarks. There were demands for an apology, for him to retract his statements and acknowledge the harm he had caused. It was a reminder that even the most respected figures can stumble, and that words have the power to hurt and divide. Now, Bishop Jakes has been vocal about his commitment to social justice and equality, but his recent partnership with Wells Fargo to develop an affordable housing project has raised some eyebrows. Why? Well, Wells Fargo doesn't exactly have a squeaky clean reputation when it comes to racial equality. They've been accused of some pretty shady stuff, like discriminating against Black customers when it comes to mortgages and loans. Some folks have even claimed that the bank deliberately undervalued homes owned by Black people, making it harder for them to build wealth and achieve financial stability. So you can see why people are scratching their heads about this partnership. Why would Bishop Jakes, a champion for the Black community, team up with a bank that has a history of discriminatory practices? Does this undermine his message of equality and justice? Some argue that Bishop Jakes is being naive, that he's been blinded by the promise of creating affordable housing and hasn't considered the ethical implications of partnering with Wells Fargo. Others believe that he's prioritizing profit over principle, that he's more concerned with the financial gains from this project than with the bank's questionable track record. Whatever the reason, this partnership has sparked a debate about the role of corporations in social justice initiatives and the responsibility of public figures to align themselves with organizations that share their values. Bishop Jakes and Diddy. Now there's an unlikely pair. One's a renowned religious leader, preaching the gospel and inspiring millions. The other is a hip-hop mogul, known for his extravagant lifestyle and chart-topping hits. Their close friendship has definitely raised a few eyebrows, with some questioning how these two seemingly different worlds could collide. Diddy's reputation precedes him. He's the epitome of luxury and excess, a man who lives life in the fast lane. Some see his lifestyle and involvement in the secular music industry as incompatible with Bishop Jakes' religious beliefs and the values he promotes. It's a clash of cultures, a juxtaposition of the sacred and the secular. This unlikely friendship has sparked questions about the nature of their bond and whether it compromises Bishop Jakes' credibility as a religious leader. Is it a genuine connection, a meeting of minds that transcends their different backgrounds? Or is it a strategic alliance, a way for both men to expand their influence and reach a wider audience? It's a question that continues to intrigue and spark debate. Recently, Bishop Jakes experienced a medical emergency during a sermon, which sparked concern among his followers. He later addressed the incident in a video message, thanking everyone for their prayers and support. This incident served as a reminder of his humanity and vulnerability, despite his larger-than-life persona. So there you have it, the controversies surrounding Bishop T.D. Jakes. It's a complex story, one that raises questions about faith, leadership, accountability, and the role of the Black church in addressing social issues. What do you think about these controversies? Do they change your perception of Bishop Jakes? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the lives of influential figures. Thanks for watching.